In your own heart, you carry the light and love you have often sought outside of yourself. Each one of us holds the power to fulfill ourselves. You must always return to yourself. Accept yourself and celebrate. You are beautiful. You are worthy. You are a wholly unique and wonderful individual. You are completely independent, and yet you will always remain indivisibly connected to the great stream of humanity. You may feel alone, but you are not. Alone does not necessarily mean lonely. Raise up your inner light and place it on a hilltop where everyone can see it. As a guide, you can aid the seekers who come your way. Remember, a lamp is not made to hide under a bowl. So in pre-pulling cards for this message, I was just shuffling the cards to get them mixed up, and I had two cards come out. The first one was the Hermit here. The Hermit is the familiar archetype of the wise old man or wise old woman who takes up residence deep in the forest. He has no need of society. Historically, he is discovered again and again by spiritual seekers who have lost their way. He is frequently discovered by a quote-unquote hero who has temporarily lost his way. There are wonderful examples of the wisdom of the hermit contained in the tales of King Arthur and, in contemporary times, in the movie trilogy Star Wars, and I will add to that The Lord of the Rings, even parts of Harry Potter, several other, and this is reminding me so much of our Merlin series, because he was the hermit who went off into Mirrodin Wilt was the hermit who went off into the wilderness. So I'm going to suggest that you go back and even watch the first presentation that I had for the Merlin series, and then also the first reading after that. And I don't know for sure, but I feel like this is going to end up being the second reading of that series, because now we're talking about being the light. The hermit is the wise one who emerges from the dark of the forest like a sudden light, at first startling and then aiding the bewildered but eternally grateful hero, which would be our fool in the tarot. The hermit generally offers simple provisions, a crust of bread perhaps, but mostly food for thought, with few words, and through riddle and parable. Could also represent Yeshua, the one they call Jesus, in those stories. He interprets the hero's experience. The hero is astounded at the old man's insight. And the hermit teaches the hero that after traveling the world over, the destination is the hero's own heart. He tells that each one must walk the path to the heart alone. And through the hermit, the hermit is simple and has no desire for recognition as a teacher. He lives harmoniously with all forces. Even in our Merlin series, we talked about how Mirrodin Wilt, which was Merlin, talked with pigs and apple trees. There's mention of that in the presentation. So that'll be linked at the end of this video or in the description. For those that are on Rumble, it'll be in the description as well. He lives harmoniously with all forces as a result of his deep understanding of the timeless nature of all things. He lives centered in the moment, and he has no need of discovery. He understands eternal movement. He points to the still pool and would have the hero study his own reflection to understand why he came. In the Star Wars trilogy, the hermit could be Obi-Wan Kenobi. It could also be represented by the figure of Yoda. And I'm sure there's plenty of other archetypes that you could think of in your own mind in other series, especially with so much anime out there. Now, I won't go too much further into it. I do also want to mention real quickly, though, through the Hermit, true primordial wisdom becomes known. When one follows the teachings of the Hermit, his true identity is eventually revealed. He is the archetype of the Father of Fathers. He is God incarnate. As Christ said, "No man comes to the Father except by me." The traditional archetype portrayal of the Father, to whom one will return, is the wise old man with the long white beard who lives in heaven. The Hermit, as the wise old man, is the Father. In moving deeper, we learn, of course, that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That is to say, we hold the kingdom of heaven in our hand. We hold it within our own heart, and the kingdom of heaven is within. The Father is within. Now, also, in part of the description of this, and just bear with me, we'll get into the rest of the reading here. In your own heart, you carry the light and love that you have often sought outside yourself. Each one of us holds the power to fulfill ourselves, and you must always return to yourself. Right? So, I feel like we're at a point where you are beginning to understand that your hand is the hand of God. You are the creator. And the other card that came out, there were just two of them, was the Four of Fire, which in this deck is the Flame of Spirit. And I will put these here. You'll see them in a moment because I'm probably just showing you a picture of the Hermit right now. At the Four of Fire, you have completed a stage of development. This is a time when you have brought an idea to completion, when you have finished building or enacting something on the physical plane. You have created structures. You have enjoyed outcomes. Your loftiest ideas have materialized, and you have met great challenges. In fact, you have been so successful that you have solidified your routines. You are moving from a position of rigid balance. And it goes in to say, a phase of development is complete based on your revelations and good intentions of the past. Let me repeat that and listen closely. A phase of development is complete based on your revelations and good intentions of the past. You built a strong structure, but in some ways you no longer feel connected to that structure. Know that old structures must frequently be abandoned to make way for new growth. You are growing, beginning a new phase in your life. It is as if your own personal wheel of fortune is turning again. This is necessary in order for you to grow. Search for your heart for the right course of action. And it's interesting because it does go on to say, it's interesting that the Four of Fire mentions that it's your own personal wheel of fortune, because the hole in the Hermit's right hand actually represents the wheel of fortune in this deck. He is the light in the darkness, and he lights the way for all seekers. He's the guide. You are the guide. But conveys the message that each one walks the path alone. In his left hand, he holds the staff of power, and there's a hole in his right hand. This hole represents his ability to receive or channel all that is. It also represents the wheel of fortune. So, as we move into this reading, I just wanted to open it up. Maybe I'll do it like this in the future. I'm not real sure yet. This reading, I was just kind of cleaning up my table from the previous reading, which actually connects to that, because it says doors are opening. The previous reading was doors are opening and you're being presented with a new way forward. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean for me? I don't know. Does it mean that with all of the current things going on online that maybe I won't be doing this much longer? I hate to do that. I've done that several times, and I know I have people who really support me, and I'm not trying to lose contact, so it's not saying that I'll stop creating altogether, but what will happen? Are we moving into a new direction? Let's get a gratitude card, and then we'll get our sacred geometry activation oracles. I'm shuffling here the gratitude cards. All right, let's see what we get here. Spirit, anything you need to know about me is in the description box of this video. I do appreciate you subscribing or following, respectively to whatever platform you're watching on. The more I'm able to grow these channels, the more I will be motivated to continue to put out content. It's a little rough these days, not just for myself, having a channel where I just started all over again. I had to start from zero again. With this channel back in July. My other channel, where I had already, I think it was close to 3,000 or 4,000. I don't even remember the numbers. I don't pay attention to them that closely anymore. But we'll get into doing lives again soon enough. I'm still physically healing. It's just been kind of rough, and I'm not going to sit here and boo-hoo about my issues because everybody's got them right now. The state of the world, I feel like that's what's going on right now. You have completed something. You have built something. I'm talking to myself as well. We have completed a structure that we put a lot of time, that we've overcome several hurdles and challenges, and it's come to in its present form, it has come to its point of completion. This message is being recorded in the astrological and I feel like the technical new year. It's the birthing time of year, spring. We just passed the spring equinox, so we're just in the spring, which is the time of new life. So this is all very, very relevant in this reading. What is it that you're creating? Let me know in the comments. What is something that you've just created, or something that you maybe have already? You've noticed that it's time to move on from it. It's not out of defeat. It's just, it's a new point in your life. I don't know. You've left your print, your footprint, your handprint. Your handprint, I'll say, is very relevant here because your hand is the hand of the Creator. Your hand is the hand of God. They're one and the same. God is within you, therefore your hand is that hand. I also want to recommend that you go back and check out the video that I put out about the Archons and Abraxas. It's the most terrifying secret of Carl Jung. It's got a picture of Carl Jung's face on the thumbnail, and it says, "They're in us." I recommend you check that out. It's just a little short video. It's not as long as some of my other presentations, but check that out. I do presentations aside from just tarot readings. But let's see what we get here with the gratitude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How are you guys doing? Glad to have you guys here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for my regular supporters and subscribers. Thank you for your constant support and trying to interact with the algorithms and all that good stuff. By the open air, I swore out my list of pleasures. Sprig of lilac, scent of pine, the sparrows bathing in the drainage ditch, their song. By the open air, I swore out my list of pleasures. So the sparrows bathing in the drainage ditch and their song, these were all the list of pleasures. Today, try to notice small daily happenings in your environment. What if these mundane events were sacred spells? Here we go with our Merlin reference again, right? Calling out their secrets to the universe, which is within you as you are within it. All right, Spirit, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get us some sacred geometry activation oracles. We'll see where this takes us. And let's just do one more with these. It's all about the completion of one thing and the birth of something new. It is a riddle, as we talked about with the Hermit. And again, he is both the father of father and the crone mother. The dark figure behind him is the high priestess, the crone, the dark mother, with that crescent moon above his head, but on her head, and then the lights of illumination. They're behind him. So he is fully illuminated. He's realized what he needs to realize. He's balanced in all of his ways. And he is ready to share for those seekers that cross his path. He doesn't go out seeking them. He's just the light. So even with the balance of the shadow, the ultimate message, the final message for all of those who cross his path is, it's within you. By the time you end your journey, the thing that you've been seeking, you will discover has always been within you. The love that you've desired has always been within you, but we always go looking for it externally. The satisfaction, the companionship, the fulfillment, the abundance, the wealth that we all seek is actually already within us. We're constantly looking in the wrong direction. And this is what the Archons represent psychologically. From a Jungian psychological standpoint, the Archons represent the things that would imprison us, which are the rules, the dogmas, the laws, if you will, all of the things that you're supposed to do in order to exist in this prison planet that we're in. And even this flesh suit is part of the prison attire. You're not free. We're not free. But we seek that. But the freedom is within. The answers are within. So integration, the integration of the light and shadow. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. Beautiful, beautiful symphony of life. It really is. It's scary times. We all go through our challenging times where we get agitated, we get aggravated, we get hurt, we get anxious. There's a lot of that going on, even in my own life right now. I'm not here to tell you I got it all together and to do what I do. I'm not one of those readers for you. I'm encouraging every one of the people whose ears these messages may reach to look within. And sometimes I have fun messages and I'll go off course and they're not so deep. But right now I feel like these are the messages that are needed. Not necessarily the love messages and the romance and relationships and all of that stuff. Those come through sometimes. They do. But I don't focus on that. As I'm on my journey for inner growth and wholeness of being, I'm trying to share those things with those who come across my channel. And hopefully that's the same path that you're on. I take this very seriously. And sometimes I get very passionate about speaking on what I see as being ridiculousness and clown world stuff going on in the spiritual communities, if you want to call them that. But here we are, integrating the light and the shadow, the masculine and the feminine, the mother of mother, the crone, mother of mothers, and also the father of fathers, which is the Hermit. It's Merlin. It's I don't remember the Gandalf. It's it's Yoda. It's all of that. There's a light and a dark aspect of the Force, if you go with the Star Wars analogies here. And then we have prosperity, which came out in the last reading, which was the reading that was moving forward. It was in the position of the integration, which is the conscious position, the thing we're aware of, the thing we're focusing on. This time it's in the subconscious. So now we've already fed it to the subconscious. We've already programmed the subconscious that what we deem as being prosperity. The frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. Those are the 5 elements, which includes spirit, but that is earth, water, fire, air, and spirit. The spirit within you, the God within you. You keep seeking validation from some external higher power, but it's within you. The validation. What is sinful and what is righteous is within you. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides, which is within us. This is something we've already created, something we've already faced challenges, and there's a time to move forward. It could be doing the same thing. It's just a different aspect of it, or it's a new step. You're reaching new heights, new levels in what it is that you're doing. And I think if you're anything like myself and where I'm feeling like I'm at right now, yet again, I'm just reacting, or not reacting, I'm responding to it differently this time. But when you reach, what is it they say? New levels, new devils. So I do feel like whatever it is that you are achieving, understand that there are new challenges. There are new, quote unquote, enemies in the shadows, wishing on your downfall, or trying to trip you up, or doing things to try to trigger negativity out of you. You're integrating that, though. What you perceive as positive and what you perceive as negative, you're integrating those. You're embracing the wholeness of yourself, both the light and the shadow of yourself. And then we have the Sacral Chakra. Creating. That's what we're doing here. The frequency of the Sacral Chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. Whatever you are creating, you're going to the next level with it. Maybe you're a musician or an artist or a tarot reader or a content creator, and you've got a channel or TikTok or whatever it is that you're doing, but you're going to a different level, and there are going to be people who are still stuck in the same old nonsense that they've been in for the last 5, 6, 10 years, and they're proud of what they've established, but they're stagnant. They're doing the same thing. They're tarot readers, for example. They're putting out the same old stale, stagnant messages. They're not flowing with the movement of the energies of the collective, not their collective. Nobody has their own collective. We are all the collective. And in unison, we are tearing down the old systems. We're seeing that happen before our eyes with a lot of the political stuff that's going on, a lot of the social constructs and things like that. The old ways are being torn down, and we are presenting and creating new things, new ways of seeing things, new ways of understanding as we shed and tear down the old gods, if you will. The Archons are being defeated. In order to find peace, we must kill the gods. Not literally. I'm not talking about going off and anything violent. No violence, no acts of violence. There's enough of that already happening. Here we have the Hierophant, God. He also represents the representation of God, the Pope, the Papist, the Pappus. I'm not Catholic, so I don't believe in that myself. I'm just saying that originally in the tarot, that's what the Hierophant was. It was the Pope or the Pappus. And because they were in the era they were in, it couldn't be a female. So, Brother Water, this is also the ascension. As you're ascending in your intuition and rising above your emotions, where you maybe operated out of just the things that you felt before. Now you're also integrating the things that you intuitively know, where you may have ignored your intuition in the past, which is the representation you. You are the Hierophant. You're also the Hermit. This is coming out. This is making yourself physically available now. You went off into the wilderness, but you're allowing yourself to be found. Now, you may have to go out into the world. You're not going out to seek to teach or guide anyone, but you are letting your light be seen. Out of the darkness comes the light, and you are the light in the darkness. You're the light from the darkness. You're the light emanating from the darkness. Not only are you showing the way out of the darkness, but you're also showing the way in. Babies are birthed in darkness. The universe was formed or created, however you want to look at that, in darkness. Things grow in darkness. Seeds have to be in darkness in order for them to break from their shells. They can't be right out into the light. They won't grow properly. They have to be in the darkness in order to set their roots. So that's what we're doing right now, setting our roots. The Magus, all of these that are coming out are all about creative power. It's all about creation. What are you creating here? What are we creating? This is powerful. And what if these mundane events, today, whenever you're listening to this, try to notice the small daily happenings. Do this throughout the week. Maybe even take notes if you're into journaling and things like that. Take notes of all the things. He says, by the open air, I swore out my list of pleasures. And then it sounds like a magic spell. Sprig of lilac, scent of pine, the sparrows bathing in the drainage ditch, their song. Sounds like he's throwing out. And what if these mundane events were sacred spells, calling out their secrets to the universe? Going forward, we have Sister Earth. Look, again, the light from within her. She is showing it. She's grounded. She's beautiful. She has that beauty emanating from her. She get it from her mama. She does resemble the Mother Earth in this as well. But this is the sister, or this would be the page. So this is someone learning. This is adapting. You're integrating the new things that you are learning as the creative spark, or as the creative tools. With the Magus here, with the prosperity, you're creating prosperity. You have all the tools you need. You're at an understanding now of how to use them, with the great understanding that everything you need is already within you. So whatever it is you're trying to manifest, you've come to the understanding that it is within you. As within, so without. As above in your mind, so below, out into the world. The Sacral Chakra, again, We're understanding our ability to flow with our desires. And it stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. So let's clarify this, Brother Water. Do I want to clarify with this deck? I guess I do. I almost feel like I want to use something. No, we use this. Okay. Look. Speak of her and she comes out. I did that one reading a few years ago during a live. I said something about the High Priestess. Oh, this is giving me High Priestess energy. And the next time I shuffled, the High Priestess come flying out. I wish I still had that video, but I just spoke on the Mother Earth. See? See here? She get it from her mama? See that? She get it from her mama. Beauty, and she's grounded, and her mother is also grounded and stable in her emotions, but she uses her emotions to create beauty from within. And you see how all of those, out of the cornucopias that are on her head, see all those flowers that come flowing out, but they flow out and she puts them back out into the world. So the beauty that you are understanding and creating in the subconscious, because she flew out, that's where she wanted to be. So she's kind of alongside the magician here, the beauty of the thing that you are learning to create. You're understanding the reason for manifesting. It goes way deeper than just manifesting things that you want in the physical. What is the actual desire? You're tapping in, because again, I'll mention this like I did in one of the previous readings, where I mentioned that we have a tendency to never be satiated. We're never satisfied. Our thirst is never quenched. And then I tell you, I am the living water. So the well that flows from me is the living water. That whole verse that is in the New Testament, the words attributed to Yeshua, the one they call Jesus. But this is about the things that you think that you want. As soon as you get them, you want something more. Eventually, you want a new car. You get the new car, and it's either ends up not being exactly what you thought it was going to be, or you end up wanting the newer model when it comes out a few years later. You're leasing and you want to get the upgrade. Or that's with anything that we purchase commercially. You always want the upgraded. You get a flat screen TV and then a bigger one comes out. You get a computer, the faster one comes out. You get a phone, the one with better storage and other features comes out, and we're always wanting to upgrade. We're never actually satisfied, but we're not allowed to be, because that's the way this prison planet is. It creates a stagnation with the things. At first it convinces us that we want the things, and then once we have them, it convinces us that we want the newer model. You want the newer thing. You're with somebody in a relationship and you have a wandering eye after a few years or whatever else. Yes, you're still satisfied or happy, and that's great if you are, but you can't lie. Don't lie and say you've never looked at another person. Maybe celebrity crushes or whatever. You've got your man there, and you appreciate, or your woman, and you appreciate them, but especially in the day of technology and having the internet in the palm of our hands, there's always going to be someone you're like, oh, wow, that's, you'd be lying if you said, oh, they don't look better than mine. Yeah, okay. The High Priestess, I just said, I spoke about her, and then she appeared. She didn't come flying out this time, but here she is. Now we have the Hierophant and the High Priestess. Both are represented in the Hermit also. And this is to clarify our brother water, which is the intuition. This is rising above. This is understanding and integrating all aspects of the self, becoming whole, the whole self. There's our shadow, the devil. That's our desires. That's our temptations. It's not always a bad thing. It just represents desires and indulging. And it can be, what's the word? Overindulgence, or, too much chocolate cake. Oh, yeah. I only meant to eat one piece and I ended up eating half the cake, or, something like that. Sitting down in your depression and you eat half a gallon of ice cream. I don't know what it is, but again, here we go again with the dualities, the union of opposites in the strength card here with the caduceus, which is the veil. This is beyond the veil with the high priestess and the devil. That's what's beyond the veil. What's beyond your righteousness? Well, also within you is a little devilishness, if you want to call it that. The things that we may find ourselves chained to, not overcoming. Yes, it can represent addictions. Interesting that the devil has the same hole in his hand as the hermit has in his. So it still represents the wheel of fortune. The wheel is constantly spinning. I believe the high priestess also has it, does she not? No, maybe not. Does the Hierophant? Take a look at him real quick. No, he's got both his hands down. But, all right, so going forward here, and we're going to the magician. We're going to clarify our magician here. We have the way of the cross. Now, you take that literally what it means in religious context and dogmatic context. Prosperity is understanding the kingdom of heaven is within you, and that your sacrifices, if you will, result in a higher connection to source that is within you. We keep looking out into space. People talk about Yeshua, the one they call Jesus, ascending. Where did he ascend to? Once he went into the clouds, where did he go? Did he just keep floating out into space? Was he an alien? Was he going up to a UFO? Where did he go to? And this is actually coming at the time, we're about a week out from Easter. I was just actually talking to my mother about that. It's creeping up. I didn't realize it was going to be so early this year. There's our hero. There's our hero on the journey, the fool, within the light and the shadow. He's got 1 foot in the light, 1 foot in the shadow, with spirit guiding him there. His little companion guiding him. Coming out of the light, going into the darkness, going into the unknown. We don't know. We know what we have been involved in. We know what we have built. We know the challenges we have overcome. As we move forward, we don't know exactly what there is to expect, but he's got his little bag there, which is carrying all the tools of the magician. So he's got his little bag there with all of the tools. He's got new life in his hand with this wand, which is a white rose, it looks like, and spirit guiding him into the unknown, into the forest, if you will. And then we have the rainbow mirror, the 9 of water. And this is subconsciously understanding. We talked about the rainbow in the last reading as well. White light, when it goes through refraction, I forget what that experiment was called, but when they sent a white beam of light through a crystal or something, it was something that they sent it through and it refracted it. That's where it created the rainbow. So the rainbow, all of those different colors, the 7 colors, could be the 7 archons, the 7 sins, the 7 spirits of God. It could be the 7 planets and the gods that those represented to the ancients. It can be all of that. It can be the 7 chakras. There's a lot, 7 musical notes. There's all kinds of 7s in nature. But this can be And it looks like guitar strings to me as well there, so it could be the 7 notes in music, of a musical scale rather. But all of those, although they seem like they're separated, they seem like they're all different, they are all actually refractions, fractals, I don't know how to say that, but they are all actually all parts of white, the white light, the light within you in this instance. What if these mundane events, what if these 7 things throughout the 7 days of the week, what if the mundane events of your 7 days out of the week, what if each of those were actually sacred spells calling out their secrets to the universe? All right, let's see what we get for Sister Earth, and then I think I'll pull Angels and Ancestors. We'll call it Brother Fire, Sister Earth. This is a balance. He's movement. Move, create, completion. Actually, create, move, completion. So this is you taking what you've learned and having the willingness to take the light within you that you want to shine for the world, and you're going to create something new with it. You're allowing your creativeness to flow with your desires, and you're allowing that to help you to manifest success and abundance in that prosperity. But you're integrating both your desires and your groundedness, your impulses and your groundedness, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we get there's 6 of fire, glory. That's that glory, that's that rising, ascension. A lot of fire again here. There's a lot of Aries energy. This is Aries season, if you want to call it that. And then the 4 of wind. I was just about to say I wouldn't be surprised if we got some wind or water in this. Mastery of the 4 elements of the self. The 4 different butterflies, and there again is our white light in the middle with the rainbow fractals going all around. Everything that you've had to experience, everything that you are going through and have gone through, every time that you've had to be rebirthed, you went through the chrysalis stages, you went into hibernation like the hermit or into your cocoon, and then when you emerged new, each time that you've had to do that, each time you've had to start over, you come out and you've conquered or understood something new about another aspect or element of the self. You're either grounding your emotions, getting in touch with your intuition, grounding your impulses, grounding your desires, maybe some of the things you desired in the past. You look back and you're like, yeah, those really weren't doing me any good. I had to kind of rein that in, you know. Again, it could be addictions with that devil there and things we've been chained to, but even in the devil card, they've got that. Both of them are chained to that block that the devil is sitting on. But look at those, the collar things that are around them. They're so big. She could just slip that right off of her, and he could slip it right off of his neck. And again, there's light and shadow, the masculine and the feminine. It can also represent fire and water there. Strength is in the integration of your light and shadow. Let's pull us a Angels and Ancestors. I'll do 7 shuffles here. Again, appreciate you guys subscribing, liking, following, whatever platform you happen to be watching on. All of my old lives that were on YouTube, if that's where you're watching, they're all available over on Rumble now only. They're archived over there, basically. That link is in the description. If you go to my link tree in the description, it'll take you to my Tarot Rumble, and I also have a reaction channel still on Rumble, no longer on YouTube. But I do have a music channel on YouTube. You can check out my music, my own music on that. You can go find it on Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. Pretty soon I'll have a full digital album of songs, maybe a double album available for download. I don't know if I'll make that whole thing available on Spotify in the digital market or not. I don't know yet. I think this is 4. Again, I will be doing lives pretty soon. I'm just not quite ready for the hours and hours on end. Even if I do little breaks in between, I used to do it where I would do an hour and then I'd take a 10-minute break or so and then come back and do some more free readings and donation-based readings. I'm just not up for, because typically they go 3-4 hours long, if not longer. I've done 12-hour lives, several. So I'm just not up for that just yet. Even 2 hours, I don't even know how well I would do that right now. Not to cry about it, but, woohoo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Star Ancestor. Follow the voice of your soul. Follow the voice of your soul. This is moving on, right? Let's see what it says. I have a feeling it's probably going to go right along. Uh-oh. We had a couple that didn't make it into the shuffle. What were they? Just out of curiosity. Dream and Journey. And Lord, take charge with authority. So both of those I feel like will be relevant. I'm just not reading those, but I feel like those are relevant to the reading. For some reason, I didn't pick them up with the rest of the deck, so they didn't make it into the shuffle. But they made it into the reading, didn't they? Lord, take charge with authority. And also Dream and Journey, which is about moving. Follow the voice of your soul, taking charge with authority, following the voice of your soul. Let's see what we get here for the Star Ancestor. Star Ancestor is 76. It could be July 6th, 1976 maybe. Star Ancestor. Hold it up here for you guys. So it says, follow the voice of your soul. Heed the messages coming directly from your soul, from within, right? All right, I'll try not to comment too much in between. The Star Ancestors is a term for extraterrestrial light beings who are dedicated to the healing and growth of the world. These incredible beings are divine embodiments of love who bring wisdom from the higher realms. Often, people feel a sense of connectedness when they look up into the night sky and see the stars. Hold still. I believe that's because they are remembering their starry connections, and those are what this card represents. The Star Ancestor is reminding you that you have otherworldly support and that your friends from the stars can help you if you are willing to be helped. They can support you in connecting with and following your soul's deepest calling. There's a deeper purpose to your human journey. Not only were you born on purpose, you were born for a purpose. You were born to be a bright light in the world from beginning to end. I'm interrupting myself again. From beginning to end, from the hermit, the light out of the darkness, you were born to be a bright light like the stars, right? So you were born to be a bright light in the world, and there are supporters out there in the universe sending waves of energy to guide you at this time. Information and inspiration that has been coming your way recently is not new information, but memories, because it's already within you. Everything you seek is already within you. Your feelings of being drawn in a particular direction are the awakening of an aspect of your soul. You're being drawn towards a road that will not only light you up, but also help you light up the corner of your corner of the world. Again, you're being drawn towards a road. This is that Four of Wands at the very beginning, the flame of spirit. You've reached a time of completion. Okay. You're being drawn towards a road that will not only light you up, but also help you light up your corner of the world. Your corner of the world. Continue following the cosmic guidance that is coming your way. Don't know. Maybe that means aliens. I don't know, guys. But that's been your message. Thank you again once more for subscribing, liking, all of that good stuff. If you'd like a personal reading, you can also find that information in the description box below. And we'll catch you on the next one. See you then.